she came over to the counter and went over the counter and said, I'm gonna beat your ass, you stupid bitch, and talk to my dad that way.
She goes up, she's like, he wants to buy alcohol, but he's with these two younger ladies.
Okay.
And I'm like, they're my, and I was like, I told that lady, I was like, they're my daughters. She comes up and she's like, you know what, those aren't your kids. She's like, you're a weirdo.
So right there, she had just spit on me. And they're trying to take her back and tell her, Sarah, don't do that.
Fuck you up, bitch.
Sarah,
Mama,
you're
gonna
fine.
fuck you up, bitch.
You're fine.
She came right here and then she had like punched that thing, and we were like trying to drive away from her because she was getting crazy. And she started punching the back of the window.
On September 19th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a gas station after a dispute between an employee and a family of three turned physical. When officers arrive, they find the employee first and confront her.
Yeah.
Hi. You guys want to talk in here? Or?
Wherever you want to talk, I'll be the one talking.
Fine. Okay, thank you, officer. The mom actually just called and she gave her first and last name, which is great.
Of the children?
Yes.
Okay. What did the mom tell you?
Well, what happened is the gentleman came in and he had two young girls with him.
Okay.
They both look about the same age, with a lot of makeup, overdressed. He looked fairly young. I didn't know if they were his kids or not, so I said I'd have to ID all three of you.
Okay. By the way, is this mom's name or
Yes,
is this?
I think that's mom's name because she wanted to talk to a manager. Sarah is the one that spit in my mouth and in my face and tried to punch me.
Okay. Do you have video camera footage of that?
We should have video camera footage of that, and then I also have. Where is? Okay. I was just gonna take a photo to trespass them, and then where is it? So that's. So right there, she had just spit on me, and they're trying to take her back and tell her, Sarah, don't do that.
Sarah, get in the car. Sarah, get in the car.
So he had just spit on me. So
He spit on you?
no, she spit on me. The one in the cookie shirt. Hold on, all photos.
So walk me through what happened.
So they came up, and I told them I couldn't sell. He started yelling in the store, and getting upset, and saying these are my daughters. What the blah blah blah. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't sell to you. I'm new here.
Okay.
So, and I have my liquor license. I know what I can and can't do.
Okay.
So I told them, I'm sorry, you have to go. As they were walking out, the more aggressive one, this one,
The brown shirt one?
the one with the cookie shirt, because she's the one that spit on me, Sarah.
That's Sarah?
Yeah, she came over to the counter and went over the counter and said, I'm gonna beat your ass, you stupid bitch, or talk to my dad that way, and right in my face like this.
Okay, so let's go back. You were inside here. You said I'm not going to serve to you guys
Yes.
because I can't sell.
I have to ID everybody.
Okay, so
with
then
the
what
order.
what did Dad say? What did the kids say?
He was like, oh,
this all
I come here all the time, like, but we just were mandated to ID everybody. I can't scan anything without putting in a birthday. I'm not choosing to do that. I'm not trying to be rude.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, so
Okay,
then
let's
they just got upset about that, and he was just like, oh, that's bullshit. I come here all the time. I said, I'm sorry. I asked my coworker if she would sell to him, and she also said she wouldn't sell to him. And then as they were going out, that's when she got in my face and said all that. I said, if you guys are trespassed, you can't come back. And I was taking a photo of them, and then she turned around and raced at me, and that's when she was like, because I was far from the car, I wasn't even close to them. I was standing over here,
What was
and
the
then
vehicle,
she
that
came
black
over.
Cadillac?
Yeah, it's that black Cadillac. And then when I was standing here, I was telling him, calling the cops, you can't leave, because she had spit on me, and his tire rolled over my foot, and then the mirror hit my stomach.
Okay, so that's not going to be a charge itself just because you were putting yourself in a position there.
Sure.
So I'm going to be honest with you too, right? So somebody else had called me previously saying that you chased him out of the store earlier today.
No.
Right? I don't care whether
Yeah.
one way or that, but I'm going to advise you right now. If something like that happens, don't chase him.
Yeah.
Don't chase him. Just because,
No, we don't
God
chase
forbid, that
anybody.
you had three people jumping. Well, I mean, you went outside to go take a photo of them.
Yeah, well, that's
So-
our protocol to get, people, like, how do we remember them? How do we trespass
talk
people?
you guys have cameras.
Yeah.
So talk to your general manager because all it's doing is putting all of your employees at
Yeah.
risk. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a safety thing on your guys'
Yeah.
side. I'm not saying that like, hey, what you did, none of this matters sort of
Yeah.
thing. What
No,
I'm
no,
telling
I
you is just for
understand.
your own safety.
Yeah.
If you've got three people out there that are threatening
Yeah.
to beat your ass,
Yeah.
don't go chasing
Well, no,
them.
they didn't threaten. Nobody threatened me but the little girl. And I was just going to take a picture. And that's when she turned around.
The one in the cookie shirt?
Yeah, and when she spat at me, I just turned around and I walked away. I mean, what can
Where
I do?
did she hit you with the spit or where did?
Oh, yeah, it went in my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem is that here, these people are neighborhood people. They think they run it here, and I'm new, and so I'm going to be people are going to bully me, intimidate me. People have already been super rude to me and disrespectful, and I think because there is not a large police force here.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't see you guys ride around. I don't see you off Madrid. I don't see you off Loman.
Off
and
Madrid
so
alone?
if these things are too much for you, how do you think we feel with no power or force?
Okay, ma'am. So I'm going to tell you that right now, I've been in the area all day today.
Okay.
Okay. I just left the jail right now. I've already taken 5 or 6 calls, literally up Porter here.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been in the area.
And you need more support.
I agree. We need more officers. When you said she came across the counter, what do you mean by that?
Well,
What
there's
actions
this
did
door
she-
like this, right? And I stand pretty close here. And as he was coming around, I said, "I'm sorry, you just have to go somewhere else."
And this
'Cause
was
I didn't
in
want to
front or
keep
on
our-
that
on the
side there?
side, on the side. So I was like this. I said, "I'm sorry, you guys have to go somewhere else because she's not going to do it. I'm not going to do it." We were all both behind our counters, and then and I guess she thought I was being rude by saying you're going to have to go somewhere else.
Okay.
And so when she was walking here, picture I'm there, and she's here, she's like, "Don't talk that to me, stupid bitch," like that, and she was like right to the side of my face.
Okay.
And that's when I said, "You guys are trespassed. You can't come back." And then I turned to grab my phone, and they literally ran to the car, and that's why I had to go as far as I did to take the photo. And that's when she turned around on me and just, like, put her fist up, and like I have the photo of her with her clenched fist.
Can you show
and
it to me,
and the
please?
spit? And I didn't get the spit, but like you can see when she's coming towards me, her fist is clenched.
And you were taking a photo of it and she started walking.
That's
towards
well,
you.
yeah, because then this guy and that guy were like, no, stop, and she had her fist clenched. But then afterwards, that's when she spat on me because I was just going to take a photo of her.
So she was walking towards you with her fist clenched.
Yes, and that's
Her
when I
family
put the
members were
video
saying,
on.
"No, stop, don't
Yes,
do it."
And then she spat. Like, and I mean spat in my face.
And then you said it
into
got
my
in your mouth. Okay.
Yeah, to the right here on because I kind of turned when I saw her go like that, and I turned and it got like in my mouth and all over my face.
Okay.
I think
Unbelievably
she
violent.
needs to learn that lesson. I've been there. I've had that attitude. I've had anger problems. And that girl is going to go from spitting to hitting to punching to kicking to stabbing to shooting. And she just seems like one of those. And I'm sorry, but I just didn't believe they were his daughters. If you would have looked at them, they don't look like minors.
Okay.
They're not appropriately dressed, and to me they look like older women, but that were still over 21. I wasn't trying to be rude or be disrespectful, and I simply just said I have to card all 3 of you. I never made any inappropriate comments, or I didn't feel like I was rude at all to them. And when I said I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go somewhere else, that was my way of saying like just move along because you're causing a scene, you're screaming, your daughters are all hoopty hollering or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so she needs some sort of repercussions for this because the mom's calling here talking about who are you,
Yeah.
what are you
So
doing?
actually, let's go back to that. So what happened when you talked to mom? So you came back in store. They left.
Yeah, they left, and then it was only like 20 or 30 minutes later, she called and she talked to the other girl and said, I want to talk to the manager, but we don't give out his number. So then she gave me the number, and I said, okay. So I called and I said, oh, hi, my name is Danny. You're calling about the incident that happened earlier. And she said, yes. I said, was that your daughter? And she was like, why do you want to know? And I said, I'm just wondering, was that Sarah? Was that the girl? Well, I'm not going to give you her name. I said, okay. I said, well, can I have your address or your information so I can pass it along? Oh, I'm not giving you that information. And then she hung up. Yeah.
At this point, the story feels almost settled. Danny has given officers a detailed account. She says she was simply doing her job, refusing to sell alcohol because the man was with 2 young-looking girls. She says one of the girls threatened her, rushed her, and then spit directly into her face and mouth. And on the surface, that sounds like a straightforward victim statement. But in cases like this, the first version of events is not always the full version of events. What makes this moment important is that Danny is not just describing what happened, she is also framing how officers should see everyone involved. She describes the girls as looking older, wearing makeup, being overdressed, and not appearing to be the man's daughters. She also describes the neighborhood as hostile, saying people there think they run it, and that she is new and feels bullied. That emotional context matters. It helps explain why she felt threatened, but it can also shape perception in a way that turns a confusing customer dispute into something much darker. And then there is the key decision: she leaves the safety of the store. According to Danny, she stepped outside only to take a photo for trespass purposes. But even the officer immediately warns her that chasing people or following them outside can put employees at risk. That warning is not a small detail. It tells us officers are already seeing the separate questions. First, did the girl spit on Danny? And second, did Danny's own actions help escalate the situation? That distinction is what makes this case more complicated than a simple employee versus aggressive customer story. Because when someone is behind a counter, the store itself creates distance. There are cameras. There are witnesses. There is a phone. There is a way to call police and let the evidence speak. But the moment someone follows a heated group into a parking lot, especially when minors are involved, the risk changes. The dispute moves from a controlled business setting into open space, near a vehicle, with people yelling, recording, and reacting emotionally, and that is where true escalation begins. So before we decide who was right and who was wrong, we have to ask a better question: who had the safest off-ramp and who chose not to take it? Because in a case like this, the law may punish the final act, the spit, the threat, the assault, but the story is really built in the moments before that, the moment someone refuses to walk away, the moment a phone comes out, the moment pride takes over, and the moment a situation that could have ended at the counter follows everyone into the parking lot.
Danny's version is detailed, but it's still just one side of the story. Officers now track the family down to their home to find out if things really went down the way she says they did.
How's it going?
Good. You're okay to go back inside. The female that was in the black cookie shirt, I'm gonna need her to stay outside.
Okay, that's fine.
You wanna go grab her?
They were both there.
Okay. Do you mind just telling me a little bit what happened when they go inside?
It's weird, man. Like, so we're watching the Canelo fight. We stopped to go get some food.
Can I come over there?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, of course. You're Erica, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we stopped to go get some food over there. And I mean at the Cheveras, and then we went there, and I was like, I asked Mom, and she's like, maybe we can have like a drink or something to watch the fight. So like, okay, we don't get the fight, we get in the line. My daughters are like, Dad, can I get some drinks too? And I'm like, yeah. So I think they grabbed like a Powerade and like a tea or something. We stand in the line waiting. There's a lady that was there. She's kind of, you could just tell already how she was being.
Cool.
She just wants your sister.
Yeah.
Like, if we need you, we'll call you out, okay, Mom?
Yeah. What's actually your name, really quick?
Shayla.
Shayla? You said? Ashaya? Okay.
Ashaya.
Actually, I'll have you wait inside for right now. We'll come grab you in a second, okay?
Okay.
So we first get there, I put it up and I asked her, and I just have like this, I was like, hey, do you have a bottle of like Captain Morgan? Like a pint. It's like a small one. And she's like, yeah, but I'm going to need to have to see their IDs. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Like, they're 21, you know? And she was just like, and they were sitting there, and she's like going, I was like, and I just like asked her, like, hey, in the bottle? And she's just like, I said I need their IDs. I was like, they're 13. And she's just like, she said, I was like, I come here all the time. I was like, they're just my daughter's getting a drink. Like, I was like, I'm not, those are my daughters. Like, you know, she's like, looks at me weird. She's like, so she opens the side door and she kind of stands there and like waiting for this lady, but she's helping somebody. She waits for a minute, and I told her, I was like, and I tried telling her, I was like, I've never had this problem. Like, you know, like, and she's like, didn't want to hear me out. And I was like, okay, like, we'll take it off with her, you know? And the girl's like, she's like, she goes up, she's like, he wants to buy alcohol, but he's with these two younger ladies. Okay. And I'm like, and I was like, I told that lady, I was like, they're my daughters.
Yeah.
I was like, you know?
And she said that to the other cashier? Yeah,
she said that to the other cashier. And the cashier's like, and I was like, and I told the other lady, I was like, ma'am, I was like, you know that I've came here plenty of times, even with my daughters have been in here with me before. I was like, I've never had that problem. I was like, we come in here quite frequently all the time, not even to buy alcohol, but that's just our local store here, or it's like going to Circle K. Okay. So then the one in the brown, that's Alelia. Okay. She said, like, oh, don't talk to my fucking dad like that, you know, or something like that.
Your daughter that was wearing the brown shirt.
Yeah, the brown shirt. Okay. She said that, and she's like, yeah, bitch, like, you know, this and that. She's like, what? And then I was like, girl, let's just go, like, you know. So as we're getting out the door, that girl is starting to make comments to my daughter, saying like, oh, I ain't fucking scared of, like, I think, like, I don't know, there's just so much fun. I think she said, like, I'm not scared of, like, fighting, or I'm not scared of fighting some little ass girl. I'm not scared of some little ass girl like that. Like, I'm from California. Like, that's what she wanted to keep saying, like, you know. I was like, what the hell? And then, like, so we're walking out now, and like now we're passing the cars, and she's like now following behind us. Okay. And then she turns on her phone and starts like recording, and she's following us, like, you know. And I was like, okay. Well, then as we're going, her and my other daughter, the one that was in the black, were having words, and this and that. My daughter Walker's like, I'm not fucking scared of you too, you know, and this and that.
That was the daughter in the black shirt.
Yeah, that was one in the black shirt. And then the girl's like, what? Like saying something, and me and the one in the brown child like grabbing her. It's like, let's just get in. Like, it's not that. Like, just let it go, you know. And like, she says she spit at her, but me personally, I don't really remember seeing her spit at her like that. I mean, there's just so much going on and just trying to grab things like that. So she said she did, and like I asked my daughter, she's like, yeah, you know, but I was like, I don't know. Okay, so my whole goal is to get my kids into the car. So as the girls end up, you know, just get in the car. I finally get in the car. She's like circling around, gets behind her car. She takes a picture of the plates and shit, and she's doing all that. And then after she does that, she literally turns off her phone, puts it in. And I'm in here now, and I'm like just following her too, because I'm just like worried, like, what the hell are you doing? And she comes up and she's like, you know what? Those aren't your fucking kids. She's like, you're a fucking weirdo. Like, you know, she's like, dumb. It's like trying to talk shit to me. And I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, you have no business coming out here, like trying to still antagonize us. Like, the fuck, like, you know? So then she goes and now she gets to the front of my car. She stands in front, and I'm like, okay. So then I put it in reverse. But I think there's like a car, I don't know why we didn't reverse. And she starts hitting the front of the hood. Okay. And so she punches the hood, and I'm like, okay.
How many times did she punch the hood?
I would say like once she punched the hood, and then because my daughter was in the black shirt, the one in the brown sat here, the one in the black sat here. Okay. She like stood right here, like if she wants to challenge her. But then there's another car that was on the other pump next to us, and she was having words with them, talking shit to them now. Like she's like, there's another guy that had nothing to even do with that. I want to say he's like an older gentleman, and he was like in a Honda or something like that, like a darker Honda, maybe a darker blue. And she was like now having words with him. And so I was just like, okay, well, she's like really close. Like I wasn't trying to hit her and this and that. Well, then she hits my car again on the side. I think she hits the window.
You up, bitch?
Hashem, you're fine.
You up, bitch?
You're fine. Just get in the fucking car. Just get in the car.
I know, I'm trying to report her though.
And then I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna fucking leave because I don't know what she's gonna do now. So then I just start to go forward, and as I'm going forward, she starts hitting my window again.
It's all the passenger side.
Yeah, all on the passenger side. My daughter, that's in the brown, recorded it of her hitting the windows and stuff like that, and just like my daughter's like having words, still talking shit back and forth with her. But she recorded her hitting our window as I'm trying to just leave and stuff like that. She's like, and finally we just left. I came home. I was like, what the fuck just happened, bro? Yeah. Like, I know my daughter was wrong for that. She said I never really said nothing. But at the end of the day, like, you shouldn't try to tell another girl like, oh, I'm not scared of you, or no little kid, like, I'm from California. Like, what does any of that have to do with what's really going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I totally understand that. And I'll be 100% honest too.
This is where the case starts to split in two. Up until now, Danny's version has painted her as the clerk who tried to enforce store policy and then got attacked for it. But the family's version adds a completely different layer. They're not denying that words were exchanged. They're not even fully denying that one of the girls may have spit. What they are saying is that Danny followed them outside, kept recording, confronted them near their vehicle, and, according to them, became part of the threat herself. That matters because fear does not only come from who starts the argument. Fear can come from who refuses to let it end. The father says he was trying to get his daughters into the car and leave. He describes Danny as following behind them, taking photos, making comments, and even accusing him of not being the girl's real father. Now, if that allegation was actually said, it is not just rude, it is inflammatory. It changes the emotional temperature of the entire encounter. A father who feels accused of being inappropriate with his own children is likely to react. A child who hears an adult insult or challenge her father may react even faster. None of that excuses spitting, but it helps explain why this was not a clean one-sided confrontation. The most revealing part is when the officer acknowledges there had already been another call earlier that day involving Danny allegedly following someone else outside and taking photos. That does not prove guilt in this incident, but it gives officers a pattern to consider. Was Danny simply enforcing store rules, or was she using policy as a reason to pursue people after the immediate threat had already moved away? This is the uncomfortable middle ground in the story. A clerk has every right to refuse a sale, especially when alcohol and minors might be involved. A clerk also has every right to call police if she is threatened or spit on. But the right to document an incident is not the same as the right to escalate it. Once the customers are leaving, the safest move is to preserve video, lock the doors if necessary, call law enforcement, and stay inside. Instead, this became a parking lot confrontation, and parking lots are where small disputes turn unpredictable. Now the family is inside the car. Danny is outside the car, phones are out, people are yelling. One person says she was trying to leave, another says she was assaulted. And suddenly, what began as a refusal to sell alcohol has become a question of mutual fear. That is why this moment is so
I had a
important.
call earlier today.
It forces
as well.
us to stop
She followed
asking
somebody else out
who
around
is
the
the
parking lot
original
and was taking
victim
photos of them.
and start asking
I had
at what
called
point
them
did each
after
person
I came,
become
they came
responsible
home, and
for
I was
making
like, I
it
want
worse.
to talk to your manager. Why is she leaving the store after people? My daughter does have behavioral problems. You come after her, she's going to come after you. There's been a long history of you all coming out to my home for her behavioral problems, for assault and all of that. So when you come after her, she's going to feel threatened. She's going to come back and she will fight. That's just how my daughter is. And so
Thank you.
with her coming out of the store, I said, that's unprofessional for a business person in any kind of establishment to come out of the store and follow somebody. And so I told them, I want to talk to your manager or whoever's in charge. She needs to probably be removed for the remainder of the day and not come back into the store. I said, from what he was telling me about when they were standing in line, about the other conversations she was having with other people, which is why he thought he could joke with her and say, oh, they're 21, jokingly, and then her to act like that. And then it just escalated. And I said, and then for her to come out of the store, I said, I want to talk to your manager, and I am going to tell you, to the other store employee, Sarah, I said, she needs to probably be removed for the remainder of the day and not come back. Because what I heard and what she did to my family, and I have the video recording of her hitting my car, I said, I will press charges on her for hitting my car if she wants to call law enforcement. Because she came after my family too. There's no reason for her to leave that store. My daughter felt threatened. So she was like, I can't give you my manager's direct number. It's in a group chat. So can I get your number? And I said, sure, here's my number. Well, then that girl Daniela called me and she said, what's your address? And I was like, this isn't law enforcement. This isn't a manager. And that's not a question that you would ask somebody who's trying to investigate what happened.
She has no right to.
And she said,
come up to 707, so we know that's a California.
She said, California, we're from California, so we know that area code. And so she said, what's your address? And I was like, excuse me? I said, who are you? Are you the manager? And she was like, were you in here with the two girls? What's their names? And I said, are you the manager? And she's like, and I said, if you are not the manager, she said, I'm a store clerk or something like that. I said, if you are not the manager, do not call my phone.
With both parents heard, officers still have the two daughters to get to. But in the middle of piecing this together, a detail comes up about the girl who spat that can change the outcome of this incident.
I mean, like, I get it was wrong, and I told my daughter too, but I, like, my daughter, so like the one, I'll be honest, like the one that like was trying to fight with her. She just does have a little bit of history. She is on probation.
That's the brown shirt or the black shirt?
The black shirt. She
What is she on probation for?
Assault and fighting.
To who? She like a teacher or you guys?
She has like
it's been battery on us, battery on other kids at school.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But she's actually, honestly, like, despite what happened tonight, like that girl's probably
she's been doing hella
really good.
Really like you could probably go through history and see like the cops are at one point we're here like every week for her. And since she actually went to juvenile hall, we put on her ankle monitor. She went to juvenile hall. She's got out. I think like the whole juvenile hall kind of like scared her a little bit and changed her, and it's just been like whole directions. And then seeing her do that,
like, we just had a meeting on Friday for her. Like she's doing amazing. Like everyone's. Like,
and I just told her, I said, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. You've been doing so fucking well, like through probation, through everything. You have not messed up your grades, like everything. I was like, you know, by doing that, you could get yourself like back in trouble again. You know, she's like, I know, Dad. She's like, but she was coming at me and she was just talking shit. Did you hear her? And I was like, I heard her, but. So like, and I tried telling her, like, those are the things we've been teaching you that when you do get in those situations, because this isn't going to be the first time someone acts like that.
Correct.
I said that you
especially
need to,
in
yes, and I said, you need to walk away. I said, and I said, you need to walk away. She said, I know, but when she came out of the store, she was saying that she's like, I ain't scared of no little ass kid or some little like, you know, she's had her story of saying it, but I did hear her say like she wasn't scared and I'm from California and blah 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 this and that, and I was like, we're not fucking scared either, like fuck you know. And then when I turned around and happened to look back, she was recording and I was just like,
so if she did spit on Danny, there is going to be a class 3 that I'll give to her. We're not taking her to JPO, nothing like that. You guys can call JPO yourselves. I don't think that she's an imminent threat to anybody right now. I don't think there's any reason to take her away right now if she did spit on her, right?
Yeah, because soon as we, like I said, as soon as we're walking out the door, that she's already talking about, she's challenging my daughter, you know. So that's all just kind of like, that's just weird. That like,
yeah,
I get it, but like as you're walking out the door saying you're not scared of some girl and that are like all this and saying all that, like you're just really challenging somebody, but then like you kind of played the game, I guess, right? By trying to record and all that, and then you turned it off when it was convenient for you. Yeah. But yet, when you went to the front of my car, pounding on the car, pounding on the window, telling my daughter to get out, doing all that, it's like, so where is?
Yeah, and that's
where's it right? The video from the store.
I have her footage. I told her that I need to talk to the store manager and everything like that, and I'll make sure that I get the camera footage separate out of Danny, so Danny has no involvement in the camera footage, right? Okay. I want to take a look at the car. I'm going to photograph the car right now and everything like that, right? If that's okay with y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then, do you guys want to pursue criminal charges against Danny?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she's doing that to my daughter too, as well. I mean,
so I'll have to ask your daughter, right? But possibly what we're going to be looking at then for her is that if I do get camera footage and everything corroborates, is that we might have criminal damage to property depending on the vehicle and what shape it's in, and then we'll at least for sure have an assault charge from Danny to your daughter. She's going to be the one that needs to wish to pursue charges. Like I said, if I could take action on any sort of thing towards Danny tonight, you know, because you used the exact right words of she played the game. That's what information I have off of. Like I said, I'm not biased one way or the other way. But when somebody wants to pursue charges, I can't negate that. I can't be like, oh, I know you want to pursue charges. Just kidding. Fine.
No. And like, I mean, knowing that she's trying to do that to my daughter, like, and I know like how serious it's going to be for my daughter. Like, that's not right. Like, I just thought like we'd be able just to be like, hey, it is what it is. There's a dispute. You said what you said. They said what they said. Like, just let it go.
Yeah, and what I'll do as well too,
bro,
after I talk to your daughters and everything like that, I'm gonna call a supervisor and then kind of update the supervisor on the situation of what happened and get his recommendation on if there's any avenue that we can kind of take.
Yeah, but then I mean, the other part is too, is then it's like she also had a prior earlier today kind of doing the same thing. So it's like, what's the coincidence that like it's 2 times like?
Well, and that's going to be documented in my report as well.
Yeah, you know, it's like how many times, I mean, like, and I get that, man. It's just kind of like, that's just, to me, it's kind of like, not right.
Let him do his job.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yes, I want to pursue charges if she's, because you cannot be hitting this is my vehicle. I didn't go to the store with them. I stayed home.
Yeah. Is this your guys' neighbors or do you know these guys?
Yeah, neighbors, yeah. Oh yeah, you can tell. Maybe like that or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was in the back, but then she was here, hitting up here somewhere. And then
kind of like, where this is wiped?
Yeah, probably like hitting up here, maybe. And then she went, like I said, you'll see in the footage, man.
Yeah, and I can see there's kind of some smudge marks as well.
Yeah, when you're over there, you'll see in the camera, she went from there to standing like right here, talking shit to like my daughter, like through here, talking smack to like somebody else over here. And as that's going on, I'm just like, dude, I just need to fucking leave because now my daughters are wanting to get help and fight, and I'm just like trying to get my kids out of here. So I literally just took off.
No, and you did the right thing exactly by taking off.
At the end of the day, you just need to get out of the situation.
Well, and that's what I'm telling you too. Like, you taking off was exactly the right thing.
It just seemed like it was going to escalate to something that was more than what it didn't need to be, and that's just where I was at.
And that's the thing that I told Danny as well, and that's what kind of got her a little frustrated with me, is that I was like, hey, I'm going to be straight with you. You getting hit by the car, your foot ran over, like. I know that was them trying to leave. You put yourself in that kind of position.
And then it was kind of weird too. I just hope you document too. It's like then she called off her personal phone too, asking for like our address and stuff like that. So it's like, how are you claiming to say like?
Yeah, and anything? she admitted that to me.
But it's like
that's also not a crime technically. Should you give that information to her? Absolutely never. No. Should she ask you guys that information? Absolutely no, never.
Yeah, no. I told my wife. I was like, no. I was like, dude, who is that even calling? She's like, my name is Danny. I was like, I was like, that's because that sounds like the girl that was there. Because there's only 2.
I don't mean to interrupt. Do you have your ID on you too, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to bring one of the pins out?
Let me grab all their information first, just so that way when I'm talking to them, I could just talk to them. I don't have to do this, like back and forth writing thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then if you don't mind grabbing the daughter in the brown shirt.
Bring Alelia.
We were with my dad, and then she told my dad that he couldn't like buy that we needed IDs, and my dad thought she was joking, so she said that like oh, like they're okay, like they'll pass, like, you know, but he was just joking because he thought she was joking.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no, we need the IDs, like you can't buy this drink. So then my dad was like, what the heck? So then she had asked another lady, and she was like, just get the hell out of my store, get the fuck out of my store, or something like that. And so I cussed the lady out. I had called her the B word. I was like, don't be talking to my dad like that, you know, like the B word, you know?
Yeah, you can say it if your parents are fine with it, that's fine.
And so she had like followed us out the store and stuff like that, and said, I ain't scared of no like little girls, and like cussing at us and stuff like that. And I don't know, like it seemed like she wanted to fight, like, you know. And so we got in the car, and she started she was recording it, and she stopped recording, and she started banging on the front of the hood and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then she came right here, and then she had like punched that thing, and we were like trying to drive away from her because she was getting crazy. And she started punching the back of the window too.
Okay. And then the last kind of question that I've got, did your sister spit on her by chance or anything like that?
Yeah.
She did? Okay. Did your sister say anything to you about her spitting on her?
No, my sister said that she was just really scared though. She wanted the lady to like, she thought like if she did that, the lady would back up because she like was scared, you know, because the lady was coming at her all crazy.
Okay. Did you think that she was going to start fighting your sister?
No, but I thought the lady was going to fight her, you know?
No, that's what I mean. Did you think that the gas station clerk was going to start fighting your sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
After hearing the first sister out, officers turned to the girl who spat, and given what came up about her earlier, what she has to say could determine how this whole thing ends.
Do you mind telling me a little bit about what happened today?
Yeah.
Kind of walk me through, like, as detailed and as, like, chronologically, so in order as you can, from when you guys got to wherever you were,
showed up,
and then
when we left.
to inside and then left.
Alright, so when we were in the store, what is it called? We grabbed Gatorade, and like we grabbed soda, and then we were in the line, and like the lady was kind of being rude to like everybody that was like in a thing, but then
When you say the lady, what was she wearing?
she had like a green.
Okay.
And what is it called? So when we got up there, she told my dad she's gonna need our IDs or something like that, and then he was just like he like didn't listen. Like, I forgot what he said. And he said like they'll pass like as a joke, and then he went to go get like whatever he was getting.
Yeah, and then where were you guys at when this was going on?
Like in the like where they check out.
Yeah. What was the store name? Do you remember?
Chucky's.
Okay.
And when we were checking out, and then she was like being serious, and then he was like, "They're my daughters," and then like, so she was like being rude. So then when we walked out, like I was like, "Don't talk to my dad like that," like, you know, bitch, like. And then we walked out, and then she followed us, but she didn't have her phone at the time, and she was like, "I'm not scared to fight you" or something like that. What did she say? I forgot what she said, and she was like kind of rushing me. So then,
when you say rushing you, what do you
like
mean?
she was
Can you give me a
coming
little bit more
towards
detail?
us, like she was coming towards us.
What was her body language like?
Like I don't know. And
Can you kind of show me really quick on camera? Like you can walk towards me if you want.
Like, how was she acting when she was walking out of the store?
Yeah.
Like, how was she
Was
being?
her arms? Was her body? Like, what was she doing?
like her arms, like I don't know. And then she like
What he
grabbed.
wants you to
What do you
show.
want you to
Yeah,
show?
can you
I
walk
don't
towards
know,
me and kind of
I
show
don't
me?
remember.
Okay,
And
Can you
then
show on dad?
that's okay. So she was coming at you.
yeah, and then she grabbed her phone, and then she started recording. And then I felt like scared, so I spit at her, like for her to like leave me alone, but she didn't. So then I forgot what happened. Yeah, we went to the car, and she banged on the hood and like telling me to get out. And then I forgot what. Oh yeah, she was coming around. She took a picture of the license plate, and then as we were trying to leave, she was banging on the windows and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah,
What did you think that she was gonna do?
like try to fight me or something.
Okay. So you said that she was closing distance. Was there anything else that she did that made you think that she was gonna fight you?
Like just how she was talking. Like yeah.
Were you scared that she was gonna fight you
Yeah.
or hurt you? Okay. If I do have enough evidence for everything, would you want to pursue criminal charges against her? Yeah. Okay. All right. You're good to go back inside if you want. Okay.
Yeah, that'll work because we'll probably, to be honest, the way this is going to work is probation is going to want to obviously request everything to see how it's going. That's why I kind of told her you need to press charges because it's going to help protect you at the end of the day. I know they're young and they kind of don't understand body language, it's kind of hard. So like, that's something I felt like maybe we should teach them, but like when a person is kind of coming out and she's just kind of like
in their space.
like I said, just see the
natural.
footage, you're coming at them and you're saying stuff like as far as, I think they take it as far as like maybe not so much of the body language when somebody's coming towards you, but as far as like when you're challenging by words and things that you're saying is more probably
And that's
what
one
it's
thing
at
about
too.
Shaya that
But
we
like when
talked
you're
about is the
pounding on the
respect.
door, and telling her to get out of the damn car and you ain't scared and the girl's like, my mom, and this and that, and like, they're having words you'll see on the footage, like it just gets out and she's yelling the same thing, like, I ain't scared, get out of the car, and that's why she would not leave, and you're just like,
No, I get you. Let me call him really quick. If you guys don't mind, just waiting outside here for a second. It'll probably be a really brief phone call, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay,
thank you.
Okay. So Shay and then parents, this is kind of what's going to happen here. Okay.
Go inside.
Go inside.
By the time officers reach their decision, this case has become something far more complicated than a gas station argument. On one side, there is Shay, a 13-year-old girl who, by her own family's admission, has a history of behavioral problems. Officers are told she has been involved in prior assault-related issues, and the family does not pretend she is perfect. Even her own father admits she should not have said what she said. And when the question becomes whether she spit at Danny, the answer eventually points toward yes. Legally and morally, that matters. Spitting on someone is not just disrespectful. It is physical contact, it is invasive, it is humiliating. And in many cases, it can be treated as battery because it involves intentionally making offensive contact with another person. Shay may have felt scared. She may have felt cornered. She may have believed Danny was following or threatening her. But fear does not automatically make every response lawful. A person can be afraid and still cross the line. But then there is Danny. Danny is an adult. She is the employee. She is the person in the controlled environment with cameras, a phone, co-workers, and a safer option available. Once the family was leaving, the safest and most professional decision would have been to stay inside, preserve the store footage, call police, and let officers identify the people involved. Instead, according to the family, she followed them into the parking lot, recorded them, confronted them near the car, and created enough fear that Shay later says she believed Danny might fight or hurt her. That is why officers do not treat this as a one-person failure. The ending is not satisfying in the usual true crime way. There is no clean villain. There is no perfect victim. There is a teenager who reacted badly and an adult who may have pushed a volatile situation past the point where it needed to go. Both things can be true at the same time, and that is the lesson hidden inside this case. De-escalation is not just about who stops yelling first. It is about who has the power to step back before the situation becomes physical. Danny had the store, Shay had the car, both had a chance to let distance end the confrontation. But instead, both sides kept engaging, words turned into pursuit, pursuit turned into fear, fear turned into spit, and spit turned into criminal citations. So, when both Danny and Shay walk away with citations, it sends a message that is easy to miss. The law is not only looking at who started the conflict. It is looking at who had a chance to stop it and chose not to.
So, you are going to get a Class 3 juvenile citation for the battery for spitting on the clerk, okay? However, I'm also going to go right back there and write a criminal citation to the clerk for the assault itself, okay? Yes.
Is there anything else that she can get? Because, this is a traumatic event, obviously. She came after children. Is there any other charges she can get because she put my children through that?
Not unfortunately, on that end. Do you want to go inside really quick? So there's nothing that it's like assault on minors or anything like that. It's just assault. The only time that we get kids kind of involved when it comes to charges is typically going to be stuff that's like sexual offenses, right? Okay. Yeah, like I said, if I could print this out here right now, I would. And then the other officer that's in my district right now, which is over here, she's a little tied up. So I'll have to go back to the station, print it out, and come back here.
Okay. You're good. I know you got to deal with her too. So
yeah, and that's the other thing. So what I'll do is
you could just give us a call.
Yeah.
Like I said, and if it's like inconvenient, like I said, we could always pick it up too. You know.
No, I'll make sure that I get you guys one
Okay.
tonight. I just didn't know if it was like a hey, you want me to knock on your door, if you just want me to leave it somewhere or something.
No. Yeah.
No, okay, cool. I'll do
I guess
that.
I'll keep us up till we
He's like, you guys are confusing as hell.
And unless, like, God forbid, something else kind of crazy hits the fan, I'm just
Hopefully
gonna
not.
go straight
Hopefully
there.
you guys are
and come back.
safe tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everything's pretty quiet.
I appreciate that. And like I said,
We support Chief Stories, so I mean, he's
Yeah.
amazing. You all are amazing. So
thank you.
sorry
Wish you
for
guys
you
had
having to
more.
deal with this and all of that. I
It's
mean,
not.
We have 8 officers tonight in the whole city.
there's other
Oh
things
my
that are
goodness.
more important that need to.
Dude, so you would think
be
like on a
taken care of.
Saturday, like this, just saying on a big night, they would have. I know it's hard. You guys are very understaffed, but I wish there was like so much more for those.
In the end, both Danny and Shay walked away with a misdemeanor battery citation for failing to de-escalate a situation. But what do you think? Should both parties have been held accountable for their actions? On one end, we have a 13-year-old with a troubled history who spat at someone as a defense mechanism. On the other hand, we have an amped-up gas station clerk chasing down a little girl taking pictures. Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on any new Bodycam videos.